So for this video on Armenian knotted lace, I'm going to teach you how to do the fancy single side stitch, and that's what this one is here. If you haven't already checked out my other video on how to get started with Armenian lace, that one will teach you how to do the Armenian knot stitch and will get you started with everything you need to know. We're going to start with a single row of simple loops to begin with for this stitch. So the first thing I'm going to do to start our second row is work into our last loop here. So just to rehash, our working thread goes over clockwise, our tail thread goes under counterclockwise to make our first knot. I'm not leaving a loop here, this is just to get to our starting position on the loop. Our next one is going to be a simple loop. And then we're going to do our side loop from left to right. Now you'll notice it's a little different than going from right to left. So you want to put your needle right in underneath both the loop and the working thread. So you're not going to do anything with that working thread, it just stays there. Our tail thread though is going to go under and around to form our knot the other direction. Now you can work this by flipping it over and going right to left, but everything is faster if you just learn how to do it both directions. So there's our side loop. Our next loop is going to take us to the base again. So over clockwise, under counterclockwise. You're going to want to be careful when forming this loop because you want a large loop to go from up here down to the beginning of our row. So there is your first fancy side stitch, and we just repeat. So a simple loop, and a backwards side loop under both the loop and the working thread, tail thread around the back. Pull that tight. You can pull that loop out a little bit if you want to make it a better shape. And then back down to our base row with another large loop. And that is all there is to the fancy single side stitch. Obviously you want to be a little more careful than I was to try to keep them about the same size. I'll do one more here to show you, and then I think you should be good. So a simple loop, and our side loop under both, around the back, for your side loop, and down to the base again. And that is our Armenian knotted lace fancy single side stitch.